So, and did you ever hear in the past about times that there was salmon shortage? You know that there were times of famine when the salmon didn't come back.
I've never heard of salmon shortage in my life until the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only time I ever heard of salmon shortage.
Right.
Oh, there was a lot of salmon.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's been the last, I don't know, 10 years maybe, 7 years. Pus pockets and the fish are getting smaller, you know, and the runs are getting smaller.
The salmon is so low now that we can't even go out fishing. It's been a couple of years, and now we didn't even get an opening this year, and it changed a lot. We used to do at least 3 drifts, and we'd have about 20 fish, and that would be good enough to cut for the day.
It's the ingredient that our body is so used to having because of the omega oils. It really meant a lot to the people to have rich fish.
The family being together, having fun, laughing and talking in the smokehouse. Every time I have my kids back here, I'd love to bring them out fishing and just, you know, just to see the smiles on their faces when we're pulling in a king. They'd have stories to tell about what they caught, you know, and they're all excited and full of slime and soaking wet, but they didn't care. But that's the thing I really want my kids to take away from, you know, fishing with me is, you know, don't let stuff go for granted, you know, because one day it's going to be gone and it's, you know, it's gone. I mean, fishing is gone now, and that's the thing I really love to do with my kids, was go out fishing. And my kids, they did a lot of work in fish camp when we started our own fish camp. You know, they pack fish, they wash fish, they hang fish.
You know, we raised all our kids on salmon, and just in time when our last one was of age almost now, the salmon went, so it's kind of and teaching the kids was how to process the fish in fish camp, and those were the highlights. I hope they don't forget how to put up strips.
Survival, culture, family ties, prepared, put it away. You always have a connection with our family, subsisting and foraging for our everything, our fruits and plants and fish, birds and everything. It's just utterly beautiful.
What does salmon mean to you?
It means life, I guess. God, that's what grew up all our lives. We had salmon, you know, to give us. That was one of our. That's how we used to survive. We used to have salmon in the summer. Then we go to the moose meat, and the animals, you know. But salmon was the main. It has the oil, you know, keep everybody warm in the winter.
Do you notice a difference in how you feel when you're unable to harvest salmon?
I don't feel too good. There's a big difference.
It's challenging, I think, sitting in that meeting, listening to the board and our people testifying on behalf of our subsistence way of life. And it's really changed from when we grew up.
Naniko in our Yupik way means that we're panicking, hurting, and crying inside, and we don't know what to do. You know, just want to break down and cry. It's an Naniko feel.
What does salmon mean to you?
Well, it's a way of life that I grew up with. Every year we had it, and we'd eat it throughout the winter. But now there's no more fishing.
You notice a difference in how you feel when you're unable to harvest salmon?
Yeah, I'm hungry. We don't have salmon like we used to. It's I don't have any more jarred fish, so it's pretty pretty hard to come by, and I'm wishing that the salmon would come back, and wondering where they all went.
When you're in nature, then you're connected to the land, and the land is connected to our ancestors and everyone around us, like mushrooms and the trees. And it's kind of like that, like the mushrooms rely on the trees and the trees rely on the mushrooms to connect to all the forest.
The bears are really hungry. This summer we've had how many bears come into our community because they have nothing to eat, no berries, no salmon. And they, right after the reds came in, the first batch, one family was cooking fish and you could smell it because it was summertime. They opened their windows and stuff, and a bear came down off the hill and was just sitting right behind our house.
You know, my mother was living down here in 1990. We'd go ask her, and she went by nature. This certain grass grows, or this certain birds come around. She would say no. We'd tell her there's no more fish. She'd say no. The next day she'd tell us there's another run coming. So I think there is another run coming. And the Mo people knew all of that stuff by nature, by grass or the birds or the certain bugs.
I listened to elders, and they said if the leaves are big as beaver ears, then there's fish in the water. And then also there's a fish bird that sings. He starts out away from the river quite a ways, and then elders say that that bird, if it's far away from the bank singing, then the fish are quite a ways away yet. But when they're near the water, when it moves closer to the water, then they say the fish are here.
Like the old guys used to say, the birds used to whistle along the bank, the blackbirds. They used to tell us when the fish is coming, and cotton in the air, some of the factors, and then the bluebells, the bluebells are blooming, there's fish out there. That's some of the factors.
Those are the mosquitoes. If there's going to be lots of mosquitoes, there's going to be lots of fish, but that changed now. But yeah, the bluebells, when they're bloomed, then that means there's fish in the river.
They put a limit on our subsistence fishing. Well, it's a good thing, but I don't think it was really good, because people get what they want and they quit fishing. Might take them a week to get that much fish, but they take them 3 weeks to get now. That's when they quit, when they get enough.
Yeah.
We got the head, we got the strips from the meat, but the tail, we cut the portion of the tail off so much from the tail. We cut about this much down. Then they cut them like this. The meat part, open it this way. They cut the meat part on this side and open it this way. So when you take the meat will be like this, and the fish. So we would they would make a hole, and my sisters would take string and tie them like we tie the heads together. Like the same way, they got to find a match or partner. If your tail is too big on this side, the smaller side, it'll just pull it and fall down. So we got to get kind of match same size. So that's almost all the fish. Only left is the backbone. The backbone, I have the backbone here. My mom would slice, there's still meat on the backbone, and they kind of curl out a little bit. We take another backbone and partner it up like we did the head, tail, and then the backbone. and then hang. So none of the fish is wasted. Only, I told you earlier, the gills and the guts, if they didn't have any eggs. And that's how. So we used the whole fish.
Ever since I was a little girl, everybody that I saw, that they just fished for what they needed. Nothing was wasted.
We were told to respect, take care of our food, respect how we prepared, not to waste. If you waste any, the next year you're gonna be unlucky. So we're always told to never throw our food away, never waste any, otherwise it's just gonna go away in the future. So that's what our elders taught us.
Respect the fish and not to waste.
To treat them with respect because they're giving us food, they're giving us their life. So my grandma Helen, she, every time I fished with her, which was once every summer, because I'd go up to Tanna to visit all my family up there, after we were done gutting, after we gut, we typically throw the heads and the eggs into a bucket, and she would keep all that you can, and then she'd take the guts, she'd throw it into the river, and she'd say a prayer every single fish.
I'm just hoping they come back so we can fish again, That's what we're all hoping.